When I had to name the show, I thought I couldn't think of anything, basically, and then I thought, why don't I look through some old school reports and see if anything stands out that's funny. And one of my teachers had put, Tom Lucy needs to stop showing off in front of his friends, and I just thought that was quite funny, so we just went with that.
In showing off in front of his friends,
yeah.
what are you going at? What are you attacking?
I think it's mainly myself, to be honest. I wouldn't want people to think I'm one of those comics who has an agenda and attacks politics or the government, because it's really not that. I can't stress that enough. I mean, I do like 15 minutes on Jamie Oliver.
Why Jamie Oliver?
I actually like Jamie Oliver. My mum is just obsessed with Jamie Oliver, so I just have this like big routine about Jamie Oliver and Gordon Ramsay.
In the very first show, some of your routines were purely to spite your mum.
Most of it was, yeah. My career is to spite my mum. She was so worried when I said I wanted to be a stand-up. Obviously. How
worried? How worried? As in.
Well, I haven't spoken to her for 6 years. No, that's not true. She was worried, yeah, because it's a ridiculous thing to do, really.
So how did you do it then? I mean, because you're a Londoner, and there are so many places to do open mics.
Yeah. Well, that's it, really. I mean, I think I was really lucky in the sense that I sort of grew up in London and from London, because there's so many comedy clubs in London. And at the beginning, you're just doing pubs and open mic nights, and there might be like 5 people in the audience and like 3 dogs or something. So it's bleak. I mean, I can't stress that enough. It's awful.
Did it knock you a bit?
Yeah. I don't think I've really still recovered from it. I think it's a deep trauma that will come out in a few years. There's no other way of getting good other than just doing all those gigs.
That is quite a move. But even playing pubs rather, it's 15, 16.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
naivety and fearlessness? Was it a combination?
I think it is, to be honest, because I think people say, oh, that must have been such a scary thing to do at that age. But when you're that age, you don't really think too much about things, do you? I mean, I really think that it was a good thing that I started that young, because I got all that out of me by the time I was like 18. Because I think if you start when you're like 22, 23, you're a bit too self-conscious, and but when you're 16, you just don't care, do you? You just like.
Whereabouts were they you were playing?
All over. I mean, there's like, I started in London, and then I did pubs all over London. But then I remember like the first time I went to Manchester, and you start to go other places outside London, and that at the first feels terrifying. Yeah. Because you think that your stuff is not going to work. I remember how nervous I was about gigging in the North the first time I did that, and I just thought, these guys, they're just going to hate me. So that was like a real fear I had to get over, of like doing gigs north of Watford. And it toughens you up as well. I mean, the sort of gigs that I'm lucky enough to do now, they feel so nice because of having done all of that. You appreciate it, and audiences don't seem particularly rough, I mean, I still do get rough audiences, but it's nothing like it is in pubs. And I mean, there's a genuine threat of violence in some of these pubs, which you don't get in theatres or comedy clubs.